There's a fragrance that takes me back to my childhood, to cold mornings, cutting wood with my dad and my brothers. And, it really just holds a special place in my heart. It's more than just a fragrance to me. That fragrance we're talking about today is Frederic Malle's Hope. And guys, this is more than just another oud fragrance. To me, this is a memory in a bottle. And I'm going to unpack it for you, tell you why I highly recommend at least sampling it, and we'll just fully break it down and go from there. But guys, stick around for this one, because this is a very special fragrance to me. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, also known as Scent Nick. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. It really means so much to me. If you're new here, I create fragrance content mainly in the form of detailed and objective fragrance reviews. If that is something that interests you, please consider hitting the like button, drop a comment below of a fragrance that you'd like me to cover, and join our community by hitting that red subscribe button. And now let's get back to this review. So, Frederic Malle's Hope is not the most well-received fragrance in the Desert Gems line. And I mean, when you've got a fragrance like the Moon on the list, with the Night, with Promise, I mean, I get it. It's not the most standout, especially when Promise is literally a fraction of the cost and they have a very similar scent profile. Now, to me, it's my favorite from the lineup. And it really has to do with that emotion, with that memory that it brings me back to. It's so special, and I find that this blend is phenomenal. So we're gonna get into it. The scent profile of this is going to be an amber, woody, kind of spicy fragrance. The perfumer for this was Dominique Ropillon, which I don't know if I said that right, and that's okay. The price on this one is very high, and that's where it really starts setting people off. A 50 ml, this is gonna run you around $636. And a 100 ml, I think, is going to run you around the $1,140 mark. So yes, it's quite expensive. It's hard to find these on discounters. Every now and then you may find it on a gray market. I found mine on Facebook through a trusted source. If you're buying on a gray market, make sure it's trusted. Do not just go in blind. Do your due diligence to make sure you're getting a real bottle. So let's get into this fragrance and why I just adore it. The top notes are very simple on this. It's juniper and pink pepper. And yeah, they're both very prevalent, very noticeable. I think there's also a little bit of a cypress note in here, like a kind of like a coniferous green, fir kind of thing. The juniper is beautiful, and it really sets the tone for the fragrance. It's aromatic, it's green, it's moist, kind of damp, pungent smelling. The pink peppercorn just gives a good amount of aromatic spice and lift to the fragrance. It sticks around quite a bit longer than a typical pink peppercorn note, and it's definitely a lot denser than in a lot of other fragrances. I have a little bit of pink peppercorn oil myself, and it is very fleeting whenever you put it in a fragrance, so the one that they're using is very high quality. Now, even from the initial spray, you can smell the oud in this. It's very prevalent and it is not offensive by any means. The oud comes in at the heart, and I'm pretty sure that it's like Thai oud in this, and it's definitely real. When you've had experience smelling real oud, you absolutely recognize the quality of it in this fragrance. And when you take into effect how long this lasts, which we will get to, that's usually a sign of a good high quality oud being used. So the mid is oud, it's vetiver, and it's got a smoky element. The oud is the prominent note here. It is not barnyardy by any means. There's no trace, to me, of an animalic touch. It's very clean, it's smoky, it's spicy, it's got depth, it's deep, it's warm, paired with the vetiver, which I'm not positive on the type of vetiver that they're using. I want to say it's probably Bourbon, but I don't know. It's not the smokiest vetiver in the world. It's very warm. It's more on the vetiver acetate kind of style of vetiver, a little bit more modernized. The two of those pair together beautifully for a nice wet wood, freshly cut wood kind of feel. And that's where that memory really starts to take place. Now, I want to say that there's also cypriol present here, some patchouli perhaps, because there are a lot more other earthy elements going on, a little bit of chocolatiness, some smoke. That smoke comes from the oud, the vetiver, probably the cypriol that's in there. I wouldn't be surprised because cypriol is a main note in Promise. Now in the base, you get leather and amber, and the leather is not vintage smelling. It's not modern smelling. It's like, to me, it smells like work gloves. And again, that aids in that emotion, that memory that comes up. The amber to me is not very ambery. It's there, but this is not a sweet fragrance by any means. Amber typically comprised of vanilla, labdanum, and musk. It's faint. I think it's a stretch to say that this is an amber fragrance. To me, it's much more woody, much more earthy. But yeah, through the entirety of this wearing, the oud is noticeable. The leather, noticeable. The smoke, noticeable, though in the background. It's not a smoky fragrance by any means. The aromatic elements continue to play through all of it. I want to say that there's some cedar elements in here too, because it's got that dry pencil shaving vibe. And if you've ever smelled fresh cut cedar, you'll absolutely smell that in this fragrance. And that really, again, continues to add to the memory. And I'll just be 100% real, guys. Like, talking about this right now, like, I am feeling some emotions right now, and it's beautiful. And I hope you can feel that through this. But let's just get onto that memory. So many people, I'm sure many of you watching, if you have, please let me know that you've done this before, have had to go out and chop wood before, because that's how we used to heat our house back when I was younger. Whenever it got super cold in the winter, rather than just relying purely on a heater, we had a nice fireplace and we would burn wood. And this, to me, this whole composition is just, it's a cold winter morning or a cold fall morning, and we're out there. My dad's got his chainsaw going. I can smell the gasoline and the oil coming from that. You smell the wood chips and all the sawdust coming from him cutting down the trees. You just smell freshly cut wood, that little bit of damp cedar-like thing. You smell the leather, work gloves, and I don't know, to me, it's a beautiful memory. That juniper has that crisp morning air. Whenever you're around pine trees and stuff, that's exactly the vibe that I'm getting from this. And it's so special to me. So with all that said, let's get on to the questions. Is this original? To me, absolutely it's original. It's similar to Promise. There's no doubt about that. But this is real oud rather than in Promise where it's cypriol. You're also going to pick up on a little bit of a nod to the moon. There is some fruity elements in this, but it's not overtly fruity by any means, maybe a little bit of that apple. In terms of audience, this one is going to be a masculine fragrance through and through. Now this is mature, and especially with the price tag, it's going to be someone that's more mature, that can afford this kind of fragrance, that appreciates a fine oud fragrance. Now, in terms of occasions when to wear this, this is a fall and winter fragrance. I probably would consider wearing this in the spring, and for me, this is a signature scent. Like, it's strong, it's bold, but it's signature scent material. This demands attention, and it's got this beautiful presence to it that just screams luxury and refinement. It's not trying to be anything that it's not. Now, in terms of performance, it is no slouch. The longevity is incredible, 16 plus hours, easy. Honestly, this one I get 16, almost up to 20 hours longevity. The only thing that beats it is the moon. The projection is quite strong. This has a ton of presence, and the sillage is monstrous on this. Like, you just walk around and it just lingers and lingers and lingers. So now, with all that said, we have to get onto that score. Guys, this is a 9.1 to me. Like, I know many people won't agree with this, but this is a masterpiece fragrance. It's not the most trend-setting fragrance. It's not this beast mode monster projector that grabs everyone's attention. It's a fruit bomb. This is perfume done right. And when a fragrance can take this sort of DNA, invoke a memory, and make me want to wear it all the time, this is probably the fragrance I've worn the most this year out of any fragrance. I've worn this at least 7 times, which it doesn't sound like much, but that means a lot for a fragrance to get that many wearings, especially since I've only had this for a few months. I just keep going back to it. It's so special, guys. Now, like I said, this fragrance is not trying to be something it's not. It's set out to do a goal, and it did it. it has created this beautiful blend of top to bottom. It changes, it evolves, and it just invokes confidence. It's smoky, it's kind of spiritual smelling with that incense in there. It's woody, it's mature. To me, it's a masterpiece, guys. So if you've ever experienced this fragrance, let me know. But more importantly, I want to know what fragrance in your collection brings back a memory of childhood to you. And with that, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, leave that comment, and join our community by hitting the red subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.